Okay, yeah, here we go. Once again, this is G-Nick Music at the home studio. You see, we got the machine here. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. You can see the machine. Yeah, we're doing it. I forgot how to do it. Anyway, so on my last episode, I was talking about what was I talking about? Oh yeah, how it all started and coming through, the young years, the teen years of going to high school and elementary school, junior high, Peabody Conservatory, having some private lessons, and then some more details about that was in junior high. I had a teacher named Mr. Sturdivant, if I recall. Really good instructor, real disciplined. The dude was like hardcore, but compassionate. He had a lot of passion for what he was doing. Black teacher too, because it was an all black school in the Baltimore city, inner city, West Baltimore. And then I played in a stage band. Really loved the instrument. Playing trumpet too. I played, trumpet through all elementary school. No, that was junior high. Junior high, 7th and 8th grade. Then 9th grade we moved to Anne Arundel County. Then I think one day we started jamming, me, my older brother, and Terry Henderson. And a guy named Jim Lewis, I think his name. Long hair with the keychain coming out of the pocket and attached to his wallet, And that was the thing back then. But the dude could play like his butt off. He was ridiculous on guitar. Didn't want to play professionally though. Didn't want to play in a band, just played, And but that being around those kind of caliber of musicians made me be more disciplined myself, and then playing sports and stuff like baseball and football and softball, basketball. I played on some league tournaments, community stuff, neighborhood, and we were really good, Played in the marching band, stage band, concert, every band I think they had. Then we ended up putting a band together, and I think I mentioned that before. But anyway, we played. That was my first professional work. I think I was out of high school. I think I was still in high school. Yeah, we were probably ready to graduate, and that was a crossroads for me because I didn't know. Back in those days in the '80s, well, it was actually late '70s, and then you didn't know if you could do that for a living. It just was fun. We just did it for the fun of it, And it wasn't about just, I need to get paid like it was a job. We had so much fun, and that it just, the money was just like, oh wow, we got some money for this, and you could actually turn it into a career. We had a horn section. I doubled on keys, or I doubled on horn and played keys, and I think we had another keyboard, Sharon Seek, and I think the band was Split Decision, and then it became Chosen Few, and then I got out of the band, and then I tried to do my own thing. I always liked female groups and stuff, so I was trying to put a female group together with two Michelles and Lanita, and we'll talk about how that went. But anyway, but I was really just like a leader guy, just always wanting to be in charge, but not a boss, like bossing people around, but just organizing, and I don't think I even did any show other than high school show. I think we did a show in school, and then I kind of just never got it off the ground, between everybody's schedules and commitments, and if you can't get that thing to move at once, then You know, you got people getting interested in other things. So, but they were incredibly talented. So I ended up getting into sequences. I had a 1040 ST using Cubase 1.0, I think it was. And I fell in love with Cubase, which is a whole nother plug there. And I'm endorsed by Steinberg, just to show you how your passion can turn into a privilege or a blessing. I'm a Steinberg endorsee, and I'm on version, well, this is the digital version, so this is Cubase Pro 9. And I love the program. I would never use nothing else, even though I played with other programs, but not enough to even be able to cheat on Steinberg or fall in love with it. So, anyway, from all of that, you know, I had, you know, that girl group didn't go anywhere. We didn't make nothing happen, make no records, but it was a great experience of, you know, trying to discipline, put people together, and it ended up being 3 girls out of 4, and then it ended up being 2 girls, and one of them ended up being my girlfriend, and one of them dated my brother, and it's like, okay, it ain't even a group no more. But I think we performed at school, When You Touch Me, but it's by Sky. I love that song. I used to love that group too, and so it could have made some noise, but I still used that principle of having females in the group because I knew that men and women would show up to a show. So I ended up getting Donna and Valerie. Actually, I found Valerie Sanders first through a friend or somebody. I can't even remember how I met her, but Valerie knew Donna, which Donna father was Reverend Vernon Dobson in Baltimore, which was right behind Union Baptist Church, is right behind my grandmother's house. So somehow that encounter would have happened. But that's how things happen. Then I end up being 2 girls, 2 females. Then I put a male in the group, Aaron, that I met through somebody else, and he lived over not too far from that area. So I had a male singer. So I said, I can't sing leads like that. I can do a little background vocals, but so I ended up getting Aaron. And I had the 2 girls. Then I could do, you know, from Pebbles to Vanessa Williams to Anita Baker to Lisa Stansfield, anything, to Bobby Brown, to, you know, whatever we wanted to do, to Troop. I did some of that stuff. Surface. Of course, Babyface, because that was popping back then. And, you know, played around Baltimore, got a good name for ourselves, and then, you know, invest in more equipment, borrow money from my parents, bought my own PA system, had microphones, wedges. I learned how to do my own sound and play keyboards and sequence all this stuff. And we were doing stuff like, Loose Ends, to Bobby Brown, to Vanessa Williams. We were doing all the stuff that was out, you know, that had to have been in the 80s, mid-80s. But, you know, we got a good name for ourselves around Baltimore. I was playing at all the clubs and 5 Mile House, 32nd Street Plaza, Gatsby's, which is Club Choice now. And God bless Tony, he passed away, I think, a year ago, the owner. But, you know, he tried to treat me well, but, you know, it's business, you know. They want to make their top dollar and give you the crumbs, but I made a name for myself. I had radio time on V103, and, you know, it was fun being everybody know who you are. You go to the harbor, and they're like, hey, man, you know, and then people just hire you for other gigs, weddings, and, you know. But I think one of the mistakes I made was, because we didn't have the technology like now, I would have people ask me for my music, because I had original material. Silver Shadow, native New Yorker, I played out there in Columbia, and people would come up to me with money, like $25 bill, you know, $50, and say, can I buy your, because I recorded all my stuff on cassette, you know, so I could critique it later and perfect ourselves and get better. And people want to purchase it from me, but I was so not wanting to just give stuff away like that without being organized, and then not having the money, or really I had the money, I just didn't put it together to say, okay, let's make a plan and make a record. I wish I would have just stayed focused on our original material that mostly I wrote and co-wrote with some of the singers I work with, and focused on that, and instead of just doing gigs and putting it on the side, you know. But I did make recordings, but we just didn't package it up, and we would have been way further. But with technology today, I can actually do that now. That's what I'm working on, several projects. I finished one with my girl that I'm with now, and yeah, we got an album done, working on a movie. But anyway, I don't want to fast track too much and go too far in the future. But just to say that was the era in my life where, you know, learning how to put bands together and organizing groups and really knowing that I actually was a musical director before I even classified myself that. I used to sequence some shows, and I knew what the hits were, the breaks were, and then we put extra stuff in and make it sound like a live show, because you know, you just can't play the songs. You got to make it more interesting, and we got people dancing. I was doing a lot of Crab Feast in Baltimore, and doing the club circuit, Gatsby's, 32nd Street Plaza. What else was over there? Man, how is that for 20 grand? A 5 Mile House. Just so many places. And then I'll talk about how that changed into playing with some other groups, and then making my singers jealous, you know, a little bit, you know, because then I wasn't focused on them anymore. Not that I wasn't, but the other group took more of my time, and then I ended up coming back to that. But I'm gonna get into that later. But for now, that's it for now. We'll talk about some other stuff later. I gotta get to work. You know, I gotta get to cracking over here. So